things come to an end apparently, and in a couple of hours I'll be taking this to its new owner, David Beebe. So the story with this guitar was that we both saw, well, I saw this come up on Facebook, and I know that David was looking for a Les Paul and had been looking at one. He'd been looking at the Yamono, is that how you say it, exports, which are supposedly, you know, some of the top picks that the Japanese reps. Is this the story? It could be bollocks. Got to make from the Gibson factory. So those ones I think are fairly highly regarded. This came up nearby in a place near Langport, and was a very reasonable price at sort of £1,500. It's not in pristine condition. It's definitely been played quite a bit. The frets could do with a crown, I think, at least, and the fretboard, I've cleaned it twice, but it could still do with some work. Other things, this volume knob here is a bit on the noisy side. The bridge maybe is set a bit high for some people's preferences, but I don't know whether that's a massive issue or not. The main thing for me has been that it's been a real joy to actually play it. As I said before in previous videos, I've never really had a Gibson Les Paul. Well, I've never had a Gibson Les Paul. In the time that I have spent with one, the real Gibsons, I've spent time with Tokais and I've owned a Tokai Les Paul. The time that I've spent with Gibson Les Pauls has been like a minute maybe or two, sort of 2 decades ago. Or my friend Gary has a Les Paul, the Paul, you know, like the mahogany slab one, played that briefly. Or Chris has a Les Paul Tribute, I played that briefly. But my time on these types of instruments has been very limited. This one, you know, I've spent, you know, quite a few hours playing it, and I think it's a really good one. I don't know how you can really tell, but I guess if it plays good to you, that's the main thing. I don't think there's anything magical necessarily about most guitars. It's more probably to do with whether you get on with it or not. So let me know in the comments if you've found Les Pauls that you like, what your favourite one has been. Did you have to let it go in the end or not, or does it still stick around? This one's £9.17, which I think is sort of medium to light for a Les Paul. Certainly not on the heavy side, so that's a good thing. And I think the neck on this, because it's a Premium Plus from 2002, I think it's the 60s. It's certainly not chunky, but it's not like super slim either, and it doesn't feel too flat or anything. Obviously rosewood fretboard and mahogany back. Yeah, holds its tune really well, and it's just fun to play, which is that me and David, I think, both share in common. We've got a fairly similar history of going through like the Gary Moore thing through to more progressive metal stuff like Dream Theater, and we both moved away from this style of guitar really to either Strat based stuff or RG based stuff. RG obviously came before the Strat. We both now sort of play Strat based instruments or Super Strat mostly, also jazz hollow bodies, but I think for me this has started maybe the thinking that it might be cool to have a Gibson Les Paul around. I don't want to be spending in excess of sort of £1,500 to £2,000, that range, just because I don't think I'm going to be the sort of person that's going to be gigging an instrument like this. It's more of it's definitely not a daily driver for me. It's the sort of instrument I pick up when I'm inspired to play something on it or that sort of thing, which I think it'd be difficult for me to justify having one that's, you know, like the custom shop R8s, R9s, those sorts of things, because those are sort of twice the price of this sort of thing. So that's my feeling on that. Let me know in the comments if, again, that's something that I should be paying more attention to, because if it is that those ones are always way better, then I'd be interested to know that. But I think something from this era, 2002-ish, and a Les Paul standard might be in my future, possibly. Keep an eye out on that. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on that. The PRS DGT, for me, I don't feel like I've particularly bonded with that instrument, whereas this one, I quickly got to really like it. I don't think they sound worlds apart, but they definitely play quite differently, and they definitely look different. So yeah, this could be the start of a Les Paul search. Yeah, really like it. I think its stock seems to be relatively not in terrible condition. It's got some knocks on it, which is fine for a guitar of this age, 20 years old. Once it's had a crown job, I'd be really interested to know how this thing plays, because I think already with the frets in the condition that they're in, it's quite a nice player in my opinion. I think could easily be quite an amazing Les Paul. Don't have a massive amount of experience in this realm, obviously, so I could be just talking complete nonsense, and that wouldn't be outside of the usual, but I think a really, really lovely little guitar, and the top photographs and looks so good on the camera that should be banned. I'll catch you in another video soon, Beebs. I hope you enjoy it, and that has been my journey with a Gibson Les Paul for the few days that I've got to try it, and now the hunt begins. Hello buddy, what's up? Hey buddy, what's up with you today? You standing on one leg? Where's your other leg? What does this mean? These, oh, there's the other leg. You're right then. A very pleasant pheasant. Put it there, man. How's your day going? Right, I think I'm just going to go past and leave you to it, mate. So. PRS or Les Paul, which would you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Like Paul Reed Smith? What do you think of Gibson's build quality? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? A very docile pheasant. Less bothered by me today. I mean, you're like walking into me, mate. Remember that time we talked about vertex, wire scandal, etc. How far are you going to go? Whoa! Right, see you in a bit. You're trying to run in front of me, but if I... Stop. You mirroring me. Very interesting pheasant. Anyone know anything about bird psychology? You going back in? Come on then, buddy. Come to the gate. Come on. You go in? You can go in the fiddle. Good boy. A very good pheasant. Basically tame now. A very pleasant pheasant. A very good boy. You like grass? Especially. You don't peck me anymore. Oh, yeah, you do. Good boy. A very good boy. I hope your winter's been good, mate. See you in a bit.